Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of the PokeDraftKings League. Now it's been a while for sure, and that's because we got one forfeit win and a tie that week where I couldn't schedule with my opponent. So this week we are back. This week's theme is actually weather control, or climate change rather. So you are forced to bring a Pokemon that changes the weather. So everybody I think expected rain, but looks like me and Lucky, the previous Season 1 champion, and whom I already faced on Week 1, had different ideas. I am completely undefeated in this league, so I have a little bit more leeway as to my team building. And we can see it's a sand versus hail matchup. So that is Cavalier is probably the most problematic Pokemon for me. So I will definitely need to find a way to deal with it. But my Mamoswine set might surprise Lucky enough in that he doesn't, or rather he doesn't know what to expect. But I really wish I packed Hidden Power Fire and something. Now he does have a Defogger and he could set up Stealth Rock, but I do have a Rapid Spin available to me. So I think my best bet is to start with my Frostlass lead and go from there. It is a suicide lead, and he does have a Defogger in Luminion, which I think, yeah, I know it knows Defog from phasing it in the ladder. So I'm gonna open up the Smogon analysis pages of all of my opponent's Pokemon, and I really have no idea what he's going to lead with. Lancelot, the Escavalier. So right off the bat, he brings out the Pokemon that we probably will have the hardest time against, but we could potentially Destiny Bond right now. Although, he might expect that. And Escavalier. Is it 1L? My Ice Beam is probably not a 2-hit KO, right? Escavalier. Yeah. I barely do anything to this Escavalier. And what's the Pokemon that I'm missing? Tangrowth, Luminion, Stoutland, Hippowdon, Escavalier, and Manectric. Okay. So, I'm at a loss as to what to do here. It's definitely a very bad Pokemon for us to deal with, but I'm gonna go into my Tentacruel. He might knock off. I don't know if Escavalier learns knockoff. Yeah, it does. So we might go for the knockoff. Yep, he goes for the knockoff straight away. So he knocks off my Black Sludge, and that did so much damage. So much damage that I'm very scared here. He might be afraid of the Scald, so I'm gonna set up a layer of Toxic Spikes. That will at least guarantee the Luminion to be poisoned. And an Iron Head should not KO me at this range. A knockoff won't either. A Mega Horn I also resisted, I believe. But he did do 50%. So he does switch out, which is great for us. He brings in the Manectric, and he will probably want to Volt Switch right now, potentially. So I do have one layer of Toxic Spikes. Let's see here. Escavalier with a knockoff. That definitely means it was Choice Banded. Yeah, that's definitely Choice Band damage. So, we have a pretty obvious switch in Mamoswine. And unfortunately though, we don't have the Thick Fat ability. We have Oblivious, so that was badly generated for me. Oh boy. I'm in a lot of trouble, and I might have to let Tentacruel go down here. Although the switch into Mamoswine is so obvious that I wonder if he will overpredict and use some sort of overheat. And do I need Tentacruel? I think I can let it go down. And I'm gonna click another Toxic Spikes just in case he predicts me. We do see it's Mega Manectric. Choice banned. And yeah, I'm gonna really struggle with this team. But the damage from... yeah, he goes for a flamethrower. Over predicting. Perfect. I should take that so easily. And I get to set up my layer of Toxic Spikes. My second layer. Yep. Flamethrower. So he must realize I was willing to sack this guy off. But now I'm not so sure. Would he go now for the Volt Switch? Would he do that right now? Yeah, I think he's going to go for the Volt Switch, so I'm gonna bring Mamoswine in. And Mamoswine should be able to take a Flamethrower. So, we have a rough matchup. We really have a rough matchup, but the Toxic Spikes should definitely help us out here. I do switch out. I really hope I see a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch right now. And not another Flamethrower. Oh, he does go for another Flamethrower. So, he deals a ton of damage to my Mamoswine here. So, now the Endeavor strategy is no longer viable. I'm gonna click Ice Shard. And now I really let Mamoswine go down here. That chip damage onto Manectric might help me out later on in the game. But what I really need is to get damage onto a Escavalier. Otherwise, none of my Pokemon are going to be able to sweep. At least I know it's Choice Band though. At least I know that. Which means potentially a Blizzard from an Abomasnow does some decent damage. Ice Shard gets some chip damage and he goes for another Flamethrower. Man, I really wish I had stayed in with Tentacruel. I really wish I had stayed in. And so, now we could bring in Rotom and Volt Switch or threaten with a Blizzard. We could bring in a Abomasnow, but we're not gonna outspeed even with the Choice Scarf. A Mega Manectric here. Pretty sure we're not gonna outspeed. Level 50, that's 205, 123, yep. There's no way we outspeed. So, I think I have to bring in Alakazam right now. My Alakazam is Scarfed. Or I could try to hit a Blizzard. Nope, I'm gonna go into Alakazam. Nothing on his team wants to take a Psychic from this monster. And I should outspeed because I am Scarfed as well. I have 3 Scarfed Pokemon in this team. Alakazam. Psychic. Yeah, Psychic is a very nice, clean KO. So I'm just gonna click Psychic here. He might try to Volt Switch, maybe thinking I'm Choice Scarfed, or rather Focus Sash. Although the way I brought in the Alakazam definitely shouts Choice Scarf for sure. Definitely tells that to my opponent. But if he decides to stay in and try to Volt Switch out, should be able to take it out, especially because I am modest and not timid. Oh crap. Well, yeah, there we go. He stays in, so he finds out. Perfect. He finds out I am Choice Scarf, but we take down Manectric. So, Manectric KO'd Mamoswine. So that Mamoswine's Ice Shard really helped us out here. And Alakazam, that's him. And me, Alakazam, takes out Manectric. So, he brings in this guy once again. Would he have Pursuit? Yeah, he does have Pursuit. And he is Choice Banded. Oh man, he's gonna click Pursuit, isn't he? So, I'm gonna have to sacrifice Alakazam here, unfortunately. There's no way he doesn't click Pursuit. There is absolutely no way he doesn't click Pursuit. And there is no way we survive that. As Cavalier, not from a Choice Banded, is Cavalier. Knockoff, wow. Yeah, Knockoff does 264%. Every single attack from a Choice Banded as Cavalier KOs us. I don't know why he's thinking so. I mean, he will get stuck into Pursuit, meaning I get a free attack off. And yeah, my Psychic is not going to do too much to this Cavalier. Only at 25%-ish. So yeah, there's my Psychic. 25%. We lowered special defense. And he goes for Drill Run. So Drill Run will still KO us. He gets a critical hit, but I don't think it mattered at all. I didn't have any defense investment or anything like that. He went for a Drill Run though. So my Abomasnow resists it. Man, if I had only switched into Rotom, that would have been amazing. It really would have been amazing. He cannot change his attack. So if I go out into Abomasnow, or I could go out into Froslass. Yeah, I'm gonna go out into Froslass and set up some spikes here. I do have the Focus Sash, and his Luminion probably fears the Thunderbolt. Nope. He just goes out into Luminion here. So he is badly poisoned. I do get up my spikes, but the defog is really obvious right now. The defog is really, really obvious. So how bulky is this thing? Luminion, Ice Beam only does 20%. He knows defog, U-turn, and Scald. Is there a way for me to block defog? Not really. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this one, guys. That Hippowdon is a very big problem. It's a really, really big problem. He defogs right now. So my layer of spikes was definitely useless. And I mean, I'll go out into Tentacruel. He cannot touch me. And I can set up more layer of toxic spikes as he gets slowly dwindled away by the toxic damage. So we do see the defog, or I could try to catch something on the switch in, because the only thing faster than my Tentacruel is probably the Stoutland. So I could Scald here, predicting the Stoutland, or potentially predicting the U-turn, or I'm just gonna click Toxic Spikes. He might go for the U-turn, which means if he does, whatever comes in gets at least regular poisoned, which would help us a bit out. Oh man, I really wish I still had my Mamoswine though. So I think that would be my best bet to take down his Cavalier. And we're definitely not in a good position right now. None of his Pokemon want to switch in though. This might be the Stoutland. Katie the Stoutland, yep. Okay, so Stoutland is quite fast. he knows Return, Facade, Superpower, Crunch, and Pursuit. As a wall breaker with a choice band, he could also be a Sand Rush. Yeah, he's probably the Sand Rush set with Life Orb. So he clicks Return here, or he clicks Crunch. I'm gonna go into Frostlass, because then I threaten with the Destiny Bond. Unless he brings me down to my Focus Sash. He goes for the Return. Perfect. Okay. So he reveals Return. Now, I will definitely be faster than him. Would a Thunder Wave do me any good right now? And how much does my Ice Beam do? 44%. So after Life Orb, I could potentially KO it. There's the Ice Beam. Yeah, that does a little under 40%. Hopefully no burn here. I really don't want to see a burn. Nope. Okay, so there's no chance we could use Destiny Bond right now, or he could predict that and go out into his Hippowdon. So, do I click Destiny Bond here? Is that worth it? Man, that Hippowdon is a really big problem, but so is his Cavalier. I think I click Ice Beam here. I'm gonna go for Ice Beam, predicting him to predict the Destiny Bond. Yes, perfect. So I'm gonna get a lot of damage onto this. Oh wow, no, he goes out into Luminion. So I'm gonna deal some damage to it, plus the poison. He has leftovers, which I don't think we had seen. No, we definitely had seen that. Leftovers. Now, any attack will KO us. But would he go for a defog right now? Huh. Or does he go for a Scald? I'm gonna go out into my Abomasnow now. I think it's time to bring in Abomasnow. Oh boy. He hasn't set up any hazards yet. So Frostlass is kind of free to come in later on to Destiny Bond something. Hopefully the Cavalier. And I think he's just gonna go straight out for the attack right now. So the Hail, the Poison, we're slowly... Nope, he goes for the U-turn. Yikes. So, pretty good move on his end. And this Cavalier most likely will be the Pokemon of choice. Man, that is Cavalier is really killing us. There's no way he goes out into Hippowdon. And what would we do to an Escavalier right now? Man. Abomasnow, my best bet would be to Earthquake. But he actually goes out into Katie. So he might not know that I'm Scarfed, or he might not assume so. So the question is, what do I lock myself into? Do I lock myself into Earthquake? Do I lock myself into Blizzard? I really doubt he expects my Scarf. I've already shown Scarf Alakazam. So, what do I lock myself into? I'm gonna click Blizzard here. I don't think he will switch, but just in case he does. Yeah. So, Abomasnow KOs Stoutland. And I bet he's really surprised that I have 2 Choice Scarfers in my team. And he hasn't KO'd anything, right? So we are leading 5 to 4. He might bring Hippowdon in right now. If he does, I'm just gonna risk the Blizzard. Because... okay, I'm not lonely natured. I'm not jolly either. I am choice carved. And Blizzard against a Hippo doesn't KO. But I do have Toxic Spikes in play. He brings in his Lancelots, whatever that is. So I could go out into my Tentacruel here, which I think is the best move because I don't think my Tentacruel is so low HP that I don't think he would go for the... okay, he doesn't Pursuit. He might not even have Pursuit, so I could still have my Alakazam. And yeah, he goes for the Iron Head, so I might be able to survive that. Nope, I do survive, but the Hail will be my undoing here. Oh boy. Cavalier. Let's see, Rotom. F. Thunderbolt does 44%. We know he's locked into Iron Head, so I could potentially... I'm gonna bring in Frostlass and I'm gonna click Ice Beam. So as Cavalier KOs Tentacruel, and I'm down to 3 Pokemon, so who KO'd Alakazam? It's Cavalier as well. KOs Alakazam. Okay, so I'm gonna predict his Hippowdon switch in, and I could set up Toxic Spikes, or rather Spikes, sorry, or I could Destiny Bond. Is a Destiny Bond worth it here? Is he even considering the Hippowdon play? Man, I'm gonna click Destiny Bond. Ugh, he withdraws. At least go into Luminion. Yes, okay, he goes out into Luminion here. So the Toxic Spikes are still up. He knows he cannot defog right now, or rather he can defog. But if he U-turns or Scalds, he will go down with me. And man, that is Cavalier has been really rough on me. Would he sacrifice this guy? Probably not. So I'm going to click Ice Beam here against his defog, and then I'm gonna switch out into my Rotom. Oh, that is Cavalier, man. If he hadn't brought his Cavalier, I think we would have been absolutely golden. But he really covered the Hail weakness pretty well there. I think this will be my first loss ever in League play. Really rough matchup. Really rough matchup, and Mamoswine definitely was quite ineffective for us. The Ice Beam does some pretty relevant damage. That was a critical hit. And he has Toxic. Wow. Oh man, Defog and Toxic. So we're gonna go down to Toxic damage, meaning my Destiny Bond doesn't even activate. Damn. That Luminion, man. Okay, so I bring Rotom in. Is the Hail still up? I think it isn't. So I'm gonna bring in a Abomasnow. He might sacrifice the Luminion right now. But yeah, there's no way I win with the last 2 Pokemon I have because of his Cavalier. And because Blizzard doesn't even KO, one-hit KO Hippowdon. So basically, I have to hope for some sort of freeze potentially. And my Blizzard probably won't even KO Luminion right now. It might with the Hail and the Toxic, so I'm gonna lock myself into Blizzard here. He might Toxic me or he might U-turn. Wow, that did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. So Luminion ended up being such a bad Pokemon for us to deal with. Oh boy. I mean, the toxic damage is not too relevant. I just have to hope I can hit his Cavalier or do some damage to his Cavalier. Yeah. Blizzard does 20 to 25%, which will not be anywhere near enough. I just have to hope that consecutive Blizzards against his Cavaliers is enough. And then I have to hope Rotom F, Choice Carved against Hippowdon. I think I already calced this. Yeah, there's no way. Okay, so I just click Blizzard here. And I just have to hope that 2 Blizzards... Yeah, that's not gonna be enough. Ever. He will take a KO with Iron Head, and man, that turn where he drilled Run against my Alakazam, I cannot believe he didn't have Pursuit. So, my last Pokemon is Rotom here. I need a critical hit freeze. That's the only thing that saves me here. That's really the only thing that saves me here. He actually withdraws, so even increasing the odds of him winning this match, he will set up the sand, making my Blizzard 70% accurate. And yeah, this is definitely the right play for him. Yep, I missed the Blizzard. I actually missed the Blizzard. If this was not a choice carved Rotom, I might actually would have had a shot here if I had something like Hidden Power Fire, because Blizzard could KO Tangrowth and Hippowdon and his Cavalier. So his Cavalier KO'd Rotom, or rather KO'd Abomasnow, and he's actually gonna go into Noodleman. He gets it poisoned. I might get the KO here with Blizzard. Nope, I miss once again. So he's whittling me down little by little. And yeah, we're in a lot of trouble. I mean, we're not gonna win unless we get a freeze onto his Cavalier. That's the only way we win. And maybe not even then, because of the fact that PP is a thing. So we might even run out of Blizzards, especially if we keep missing. I mean, it is 70% accurate, but you gotta expect to get 1 off instead of missing 2 in a row. Best case scenario would be him switching in his Cavalier right now, but he's not gonna do that. I will connect my Blizzard. It will be enough to KO that guy. So Rotom KOs Tangrowth. So at least we won't get too bad a differential right now. Like I said, I am locked into Blizzard, so I have to hope I hit and I get a freeze or a critical hit or something. Yeah, I'm gonna need 3 Blizzards. I don't get the freeze, so the Choice Banded Iron Head will be enough for him to get the win, and that will be game. I don't know why he ended up shoveling towards the end. That really surprised me, and all it did was help my differential just a little bit. If I had connected against Hippowdon, he might have been tempted to bring in Tangrowth as well. But yeah, good game, Lucky. He ends my undefeated streak. Pretty good for him. And yeah, we shall see. I think we are definitely still a lock-in for playoffs, but we can't just get ahead of ourselves. So next week is, I believe, full wallet, which means we will have a ton of money, 2,000 points to build a team. So I will definitely make sure I have a really good team prepared against my opponent for next week. This week, I wanted to be a bit original, and I never expected that as Cavalier. I definitely should have been packing Hidden Power Fire on one of my Pokemon at least, but hey, that's Pokemon. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week for more PDK action. Bye bye.